All right, Jarom, it's time that we visit the top 10 defenses BYU football will face in 2019. It's Jarom's 10 and 10.
10 lists in 10 weeks. It's Jarom 10 and 10.
Not listed, Idaho State and UMass. They stink. Number 10, Liberty. New DC Scott Simons comes from Memphis. They run a 4.25. That's about the same amount of yards the Flames gave up per game in year one of FBS independence. Liberty was in the bottom 15 of all major defensive statistical categories, giving up 37 a game. Jesse Lemonnier had 10 sacks last year. Lineman Austin Lewis was a freshman All-American. That's a win!
Liberty about to give up 37-plus against BYU in Provo.
I would hope it's 50-plus. Number 9, South Florida. In Charlie Strong's sophomore year in Tampa, the Bulls got worse on defense, allowing 39 a game and 470 yards the last 6, all losses.
Ooh.
Middle linebacker Nico Sawtell missed the final 7 games with a neck and shoulder injury, but is healthy. Greg Reeves pulled a Sione Takitaki and moved from end to linebacker, his natural position. 4 of the front 7 return after being 8th worst in rush yards allowed. The pass defense, however, 35th, 2 of those 4 starters back.
So what you're telling me is this is BYU's best opportunity to beat a team in Florida.
Nailed it. Number 8, Toledo. In 2018, the Rockets gave up almost 31 a game, 432 yards a game, had the max worst pass defense. Zach Wilson is hungry. Giving up 44-plus against the first 3 FBS opponents. That'll do. That. Maybe it's good only 5 starters return then. And Jamal Hines had 3 sacks, 6 tackles for loss as a freshman. Converted tight end Jordan Fisher is the top returning tackler.
Suspect defense still worries me because this is the first game after the gauntlet Power 5 games in the first 4.
Yeah, Toledo's a good team. What they're really good at is offense. Number 7, USC. The Trojans lost a lot of linebackers, including 3-year leading tackler Cameron Smith, Utah native Porter Gustin. They were middle of the pack as a team a year ago with defensive coordinator Clancy Pendergast, who's in year 4 of calling the plays. This group led the nation in sacks 2 years ago, but slipped with 17 fewer last year. The secondary is an issue as well. Athletic, but just half of the DBs are on scholarship.
I'm feeling good about this because BYU's offensive line seems to be deep and talented. If the pass rush for USC isn't there and the secondary is an issue, hello, win over the Trojans.
But it's always scary because you see those 3 letters, right?
Yes.
Number 6, Tennessee. Derek Ansley runs a transitioning 3-4 defense that gave up 28 a game a year ago in the SEC. The defensive line needs to replace 4 starters who produced, 150 tackles and 15.5 tackles for loss last year. However, the Volunteers have a good secondary led by freshman All-American Bryce Thompson. Expect a lot of nickel.
They'll be juiced. Second game of the season, they're going to be 1-0, 100,000 plus.
Yeah.
Like this game, I'm concerned.
Yeah, I have them at 6. Number 5, Utah State. They felt disrespected the last couple of weeks. I'm throwing you in the top 5 now. 7 starters returned to the nation's top takeaway group. They had 32 last year. They also scored 6 touchdowns. What? First-year DC and former Cougar linebacker Justin Enna is calling the shots now. He says the D-line is the strength of the group. 3 starters back, including Tipa Nalia, had 10.5 sacks. Linebacker David Woodward, NFL prospect as well, 134 tackles, 12.5 for loss, 5 sacks. Senior corner DJ Williams, 4 picks, 11 pass deflections. Basically, he was the 2009 Brian Logan.
Yeah,
which was better than the 2010 Brian Logan.
Yeah, listen, the Aggies, they can ball, man. I know we're all still trying to get used to this, but they've got some ballers, man.
Little brother's growing up. And Justin Ennis calling the shots now, former Coug. Number 4, Boise State. Defensive coordinator Andy Avalos departed to Oregon. The Broncos will switch from a 4-3 to a 3-4 with Jeff Schmedding and Spencer Danielson. Curtis Weaver, baller. Plays the stud position. He is one. 15 tackles for loss, 9.5 sacks last year. This group produced 7 picks all year, tied for its lowest total since '68. 7 starters are back, 9 with at least 9 starts from a group that was top 40 in scoring and yards.
As good as Boise State is on defense, they got to come to Provo with a new quarterback. I like BYU in this game.
And his name's not Zach Wilson. He would have been their guy.
I know.
Now he's BYU's. Take that. Number 3, the surprise pick here, San Diego State. Rocky Long and his defenses, man. The 3-3-5 is alive and well, led by DC Zach Arnett.
Who's playing the Aztec?
What? Oh, yeah. I don't know. Former Aztec head coach Brady Hoke is the D-line coach. That's weird, right?
Not
he was
good.
the head coach? Yeah. Now he's the D-line coach. 22 points allowed last year, 7th in the country in rush D. Held Boise State to 229 in an upset on the blue. Backer Chiava Tizino had 127 tackles, 14.5 for loss, 8.5 sacks. Safety Tariq Thompson had 7 picks and 3 forced fumbles the last 2 years. I like this defense.
I'd be concerned, but their offense is so bad right now. I don't know if they can score enough to beat BYU.
Yeah, it feels like the 2012 BYU, where the offense was meh, the defense was fantastic. Number 2, which will tell you number 1, Washington. This group has been the strength of the UW program for years. 5 defensive players were taken in the NFL draft. 3 the year before, 4 the year before. They reload every year. 2 starters are back on a defense that was 5th in points, 12th in yards. Safety Miles Bryant and Benning Potoai. UW led the nation with 1 play allowed of 40-plus, by the way. Do you know who was second? It was BYU with 4.
See, I don't know about Washington. This is the great mystery for me because they lost so many elite players to the National Football League.
But like I said, they lost 5 this year, but they lost 3 the year before and 4 the year before. So they've done this, right?
There's this trend.
2 years in a row, they've lost guys. And the top defense BYU play in 2019 is the Utah Utes.
Great news.
Are the Utah Utes. This group is fantastic. 7 returning starters gave up 19 a game, only 4.6 yards per play. Top 20 in both. Kyle Whittingham feels like he has 3 NFL defensive linemen, and Bradley Anai, Lecky Fotu, and John Pennicina. Linebackers are a question, but Cougar defectors, Francis Bernard and former signee Mika Tafua, good players. Jalen Johnson, outstanding corner. Julian Blackman, expected to move from corner to safety to fill the shoes of Marquise Blair. And those are the top 10 defenses BYU will face in 2019.
Utah keeps arriving, if not at number 1, at number 2 in all of these lists, Jarom.
They're good,
so
man.
why do we feel like BYU has a shot to beat the Utes?
Well, they have a shot. I don't think they should win. You and Jason had a conversation about, I think they should. I'm like, should? No, they shouldn't. They could, yeah. I hope with all my little heart that they do. Come on.